It has been all doom and gloom for the markets here in 2022, with the exception of a fake out bounce we saw in the month of March. The markets are in turmoil, inflation is running hot, interest rates are rising, and the Federal Reserve is headed for a very hard landing. We also have geopolitical tensions, and the list goes on. None of this has played out well for anyone's portfolio unless that is you have been shorting the market, and in that case, I applaud you. Well done. Trying to time the market is often a lose-lose, rarely done to perfection, but when it is actually done, it's actually probably more a testament to luck. Due to rising inflation, the Fed is going to have to continue rising rates at a rapid pace. The most recent rise we just saw was a 50 basis point rise, which was the first time they have done that in a number of decades. A soft landing is what the Fed is aiming for and what they talk about. But in the most recent conference call with Fed Chair Jerome Powell, he talked about their goal is to have a soft or softish landing, which already tells you where things are headed. This soft landing, there's nothing going to be soft about this. The Fed has to raise rates, and there's going to be short-term pain that comes along with it and a potential recession. Nonetheless, this doesn't go on to say that you should sell all of your positions, because I don't believe you should do that at all. Again, we're not trying to time the market, but we want to take a constructive approach, a fresh look at our portfolio to look for positions that are going to bode well when times get a little tougher. All this to say a recession is likely coming, and you want to be prepared. So what we're going to do today is take a look at 3 dividend stocks that have outperformed in recent recessions and stocks that I believe will outperform the S&P 500 again in the future recession. So with that being said, let's get started. Thanks for joining me again, and if this is your first time visiting the channel, my name is Mark Rusin. I am a CPA and not a financial advisor, so please perform your due diligence before investing in any stock or ETF mentioned in today's video. And if you are looking for a great investing platform, especially for those of you that are long-term buy and hold investors, definitely check out M1 Finance, where they're giving away free $10 just for signing up. You just sign up and you get $10 to start your investing journey on M1 Finance. Check out the link in the description below. The past 2 recessions occurred in 2020, more recently, and in 2008, but both of them were very different recessions. In 2020, the one we've seen most recently was a very steep, very hard recession, but it was also very quick. This recession only lasted 2 months, and as we know, it was brought on by a global pandemic, one that many of us haven't seen in our lifetime. 2008 was very different. It was more drawn out. The 2008 recession actually lasted a total of 18 long, drawn out months. All right, before we jump in and talk about 3 dividend stocks that I believe will be rather recession-proof for your portfolio during the next recession, do me a huge favor and click that like button down below, as that is huge for the growth of this channel and it keeps the algorithm pretty happy with our channel. Now, without further ado, let's jump in. Dividend stock number 1 is Target Corporation, stock ticker TGT. As you know, Target is a discount retailer that consumers love, whether economic times are good or economic times are bad. People are always looking for decent quality, but most of all, lower price. And they also are expanding their grocery section, which everyone always needs groceries. During the last recession, shares of Target, TGT, actually outperformed the S&P 500 by 21.4% in the most recent recession in 2020 and by 7.6% in 2008. Over the course of this current year, shares of Target are down roughly 5.5%. Being a discount retailer, Target has transformed into a very favorable brand. And it is a favorite amongst my family here, as the kids love going to Target because they know exactly where the toy section is. However, the company has plenty of strong competition to keep them on their toes. They have the likes of Walmart and other smaller discount retailers like Dollar General or Family Dollar, to name a few. I like to compare Target to the likes of Lowe's. They're kind of second fiddle in their respective industry. Lowe's is considered the smaller sibling to Home Depot, and Target can be considered the smaller sibling to the likes of Walmart. But at the same time, this plays exactly into why I like a company like Lowe's, which I've mentioned on this channel quite often, the potential that they have and they're showing, and Target, the potential they have to eventually be a Walmart and close that gap from a sales standpoint, from an earnings standpoint, and eventually from a multiple standpoint. There's lots of multiple expansion if they continue to make headway towards Walmart. Walmart has a huge presence nationwide with scale. That is where the opportunity comes in. Target has done a nice job, similar to that of Lowe's, of redesigning their stores, expanding their online pickup presence, and also expanding their grocery business, which will bode well for the company moving forward. The opportunity for growth is there as the company continues to expand store count. The other area for growth pertains to the dividend. Target has been a rock-solid dividend growth stock over the years. Currently, shares of Target yield a dividend of 1.6%. Target has been a dividend growth machine and is in the very exclusive Dividend Kings Club, having increased its dividend for over 50 consecutive years. Over the past 5 years, the company has increased the dividend an average of 7.5% per year, and they have a very low payout ratio of only 23%, suggesting the dividend has plenty of room for growth and is plenty safe. In terms of valuation, analysts are expecting shares of TGT to finish the year with an adjusted EPS of $14.59, which equates to a forward price to earnings multiple of 15 times. And over the past 5 years, shares of Target have traded closer to 16.5 times. So there is some room for shares to get back to normal, but at the same time, it is trading at a massive discount to the likes of Walmart. As Target continues to transform itself, investors will eventually re-rate the company to be more in line with its peers, providing plenty of room for multiple expansion. As you can see here, CFRA has a buy rating on shares of Target with a 12-month price target of $288. TipRanks shows 18 analysts covering the stock, and they give shares of Target a strong buy rating with an average 12-month price target of $282 on average. Target is a well-run company. They continue to grow their physical presence as well as their online presence. And hopefully in the near future, investors will look and appreciate that, and we could see multiple expansion and growth opportunity in shares of Target. Dividend stock number 2 is AbbVie, stock ticker ABBV. This next company is one of my favorites, and if you follow me on social media, you know that I love AbbVie. And if you followed my dividend portfolio updates, you will have seen that the largest single stock position I have is AbbVie. I have coined it the investor's trifecta. I believe this pharmaceutical giant can belong in an array of different investor type portfolios or strategies. The company offers growth. That's trifecta number 1. With a trifecta, we're going to want 3 things. So the first is it offers growth. It offers high yield with a dividend yield close to 4%. For a number of years, it was actually well over 4%, but it's slightly under 4% right now. And thirdly, it offers dividend growth potential. This company has been increasing its dividend close to 18% over the past 5 years, and they have increased the dividend for 9 consecutive years. These are phenomenal stats, and shares of AbbVie have been nothing short of phenomenal of late. The company went on a tear back in April, and that's really when I started to feel like I need to take a closer look at my shares. Valuations are getting a little stretched. It has had a very strong run, as you see in the chart here, and as such, even though it's my largest individual position, I decided to trim a few shares and bring the weighting in my portfolio, although it's still the largest individual stock, bring that down and take a few bucks off the table, as you can see here from my Fidelity transaction report. This in no way is a bad thing or a negative sign on AbbVie. It actually worked out quite well because now I can buy those shares back at a much cheaper price. Nonetheless, this company is very strong and should hold up well given any economic backdrop. For a number of years, they have had the best-selling drug in Humira, and many of these drugs are needed. They have no idea what the economic backdrop is, but these are drugs that are needed by its patients. Humira, for a number of years, had been the number 1 selling drug. It took a backseat to the COVID vaccine in the recent years, but at the same time, it lost patent protection overseas and will be losing patent protection in 2023 here in the US. But that's where AbbVie is expanding. It is becoming a new portfolio, a new company with an array of different products. They may not have the one blockbuster product that used to make up 60 to 70% of total revenues, but now they have a complete portfolio of solid up-and-coming drugs as well as a loaded pipeline. The company has been a cash flow king over the years, and this is why they've been able to not only pay a high yield dividend, but also pay a growing dividend. Shares of AbbVie currently yield a dividend of 3.7%, as I alluded to earlier, growing at an average clip of 18%. Management has increased the dividend for 9 consecutive years, but in reality, it is much longer than that. Really going back to its subsidiary days, AbbVie was actually part of Abbott Labs, and they spun that off back in 2014. But if you look at Abbott Labs, they are actually considered a dividend king as well, the same as Target we just looked at a second ago. So you can really look at it 2 different ways. AbbVie itself has paid growing dividend for 9 consecutive years, but it was part of Abbott Labs, which has paid for over 50 consecutive years. So whichever way you want to spin it, the company does a great job of returning money to shareholders, and that's exactly why we like it. In terms of valuation, looking at this fast graphs chart, you can see that analysts are looking for adjusted EPS of $14.10 per share in 2022, which equates to a forward price to earnings multiple of 10.8 times, which is right in line with where shares have traded over the past 5 years. CFRA rates shares of AbbVie a buy with a 12-month price target of $165. 17 analysts covering the stock currently rate shares of AbbVie a moderate buy and have a 12-month price target of $163 with a price target high of $200. AbbVie is definitely a stock to consider whether the economy is struggling and potentially going through a recession, or we're going through a booming economy. Regardless, this is a great stock to have in your portfolio. The third recession-proof stock we're going to look at today is CVS Health Company. Stock ticker CVS. CVS is a health company operating as a drugstore chain. A coming recession should not affect a company like CVS, which has built quite the footprint here in the United States. Did you know, a little fun fact I read a few years ago was that 70% of Americans live within 3 miles of a CVS store. Many well-known and in-demand products are found at a CVS. You could think of toiletries like toothpaste, cold and flu medicine, Band-Aids, makeup. The list goes on. There's so much that is needed on a day-to-day basis at a store like CVS, regardless of whether the economy again is booming or headed towards a recession. CVS also has a well-liked and popular large-scale pharmacy program where consumers can fill prescription or even get accessible vaccines. During the Great Recession back in 2008, shares of CVS outpaced the S&P 500 by 20% and nearly 10% in the most recent recession in 2020. Currently, shares of CVS are down 6% year to date. In terms of the dividend, CVS currently pays an annual dividend of $2.20, which equates to a yield of 2.2%. Dividend growth, which we have seen with the other 2 stocks we discussed earlier, has not been as great with CVS. Here in 2022 was actually the first dividend increase CVS shareholders had seen since 2017. Is that a sign of things to come? Let's hope so, because right now the company still has a very low payout ratio, below 25%, giving them plenty of room to not only cover their dividend, but grow their dividend moving forward. Looking at valuation, you can see that analysts are looking for an adjusted EPS of $9 in 2023, which equates to a forward price to earnings multiple of 10.9 times. Over the past few years, shares of CVS have traded right around here at 10.7 times. CFRA rates shares of CVS a buy with a 12-month price target of $115, and TipRanks shows 10 analysts covering the stock in which they rate shares of CVS a moderate buy with a 12-month price target of $119, implying over 20% upside from current levels. It is becoming more and more clear that the US is headed for a potential recession. Now, will it be as steep that we saw in 2020? Will it be as drawn out as it was in 2008? I don't believe so. I think this is going to be your regular run-of-the-mill, and hoping that it's going to be just your normal economic policy that's going to the Fed's going to go through a monetary policy reset to bring inflation down and get things back into normal order. Now, this doesn't mean that there won't be pain, because there will be pain ahead, but you can build your portfolio to outduel the recession. And definitely take a look at these 3 recession-proof stocks, dividend stocks, that I believe will outperform the S&P 500 in the next recession. In the comments section down below, let me know what you think of these 3 dividend stocks. And also, what do you consider a recession-proof dividend stock? Give me a few names down in the comment section below. And also, if you haven't clicked that like button down below, please do that, as that really helps the growth of this channel. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time. Take care.